and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nilesh Marathe, and I lead the digital engagement practice with Avaya. I remember 2 years back I was here talking about the smart cities and Avaya offering in smart cities. So I'm happy to have a very close association with Nashik Smart City as well on those fronts. But do I have a clicker here? This is a clicker? Yeah, it works. Okay, awesome, fantastic. All right, so talking about the smart cities, everyone, now this is a smart city forum, everyone is talking about smart cities, right? What is possible, what can be done, and I was very happy to see some focus in the opening sessions coming on the citizen engagement, right? Some of our elite panelists were talking about involving the citizens in smart cities, right? One of the most important factors. Infrastructure, what we have seen so far in most of the smart cities across India ever since the initiative has started, a lot of focus on infrastructure, connectivity, buildings, water, cleanliness, yes, all are important. And as our Honorable Prime Minister also put in some few days back is, now it is time to put the citizens, the importance on engaging the citizens in smart cities, right? Because who are these initiatives for? Ultimately, these are for the citizens, right? And citizens are important, and it is time to put focus on the citizens, right? That's what we need to do. So think about smart citizen, and these are some of the pillars that of the smart cities, which rightly says smart citizens. But take a step back and think about it. What makes smart citizens smart, right? And now I want to draw a parallel here to the smartphones. Everyone uses a smartphone here, right? And what makes smartphones smarter? Without internet, would the phones be smarter, right? You have all the applications, all the camera, the internet connectivity, the other things everything that your phone connects to makes the phone smarter, right? Now we have the infrastructure ready. All we need to do is make the citizens connect to that infrastructure, make them use that smart infrastructure. That's what will make citizens smarter, right? And that's what I'm putting a lot of premium on citizen engagement, because if you want to make the citizens smarter, we have to make them engage and use that infrastructure bit. So what do these people want? What do you want? We are part of the citizen. You and I both are citizens of the smart cities, right? Whether in Nashik or outside Nashik, so wherever you are from. What do we want? The way we engage with municipal corporations, the way we engage with the government agencies, right? Typically what we want is ease of use, right? How easy are the services to use for me, right? So I need one window for all my services, right? Make it social if it is available. Some panelists just now said, hey, we have created so many apps, but the adoption has been so low, and that is a fact. We have studied, the leading smart cities where they have tons of applications. Forget about smart cities, even in the enterprise world, the app adoption is very difficult to achieve, right? And when you make it social, for example, WhatsApp, the adoption just goes up, right? That's a fact. And everyone is on WhatsApp. You don't have to tell people to download WhatsApp. But you do have to tell people to, hey, I have a smart parking, we have a smart parking in Nashik, please go and download the app, right? And look at the adoption of that will be. So make it easy to access, make it social, make it available on social, make it easy for people to use those services, right? That's what people want, make it easy. Make it mobile. Can I use it? Can I access it from mobile phone? Right. So those are some of the things that people want. I want it to be accessible from the channel of my choice. Right. Whether I want to use social media or I want to just use my phone to dial somebody and get the services done. Right. So when the citizens want all those things, are we ready as a platform from the governance or the administration perspective? What are the challenges that we face if you really have to make these things available to citizens? Make it really simple for citizens, right? One thing is, make the channels available. Make it easy. How do we make it easy? It's, people want to use social media, they want to use WhatsApp, maybe they want to use phone call, they want to use applications. So, multiple channels come into the picture. The challenge is, how do I make my services work across all the channels? Right now, every municipality has about 120 services to offer to its citizens, right? So how do I make them available across everywhere, right? Those are some of the challenges. Then there are multi-agency coordinations, right? Yes, if I have been given some work through, let's say, website or through mobile applications or through phone call, how do I pass it on to the agency that is supposed to take care of it, right? So there's a multi-agency coordination has to be factored in. So some of the things that we need to look at as well. Silos of applications, some panelists have already talked about it, right? There is a the app phobia, I would say. The adoption, when you have a smart apps, the focus has to be really on adoption. So, given that, if I have to just throw a numbers based on some of the study that we did, the adoption of the apps in India for government services is less than 1%. Okay. That doesn't say much about how much we want to put focus on apps and so on, right? So in those scenarios, how do we ensure that people use those services, all the smart infrastructure that we have built? That is the key of delivering the services, right? If you make the people use those the infrastructure, make it engageable with the consumers, with the citizens, there lies the key in success, right? So what is the answer? Answer is one city, one identity, right? Why it is a challenge? Look at even in Nashik, when we started working with, let's say, there is a municipality number, yes there is, but for other services, every services there is potentially about 3 to 4 numbers available. Do we expect people to remember all these numbers? Maybe, maybe not, right? There are apps, multiple applications, there are multiple applications are available, right? So different ways to reach out to different services. Can I make it one identity for all my administrative services? It's an idea, right? Just showing an idea. One city, one identity. I have one number to call for all my services. Whether I need a birth certificate, whether I need a water connection, whether I need NOC for certain services, from municipality, I have one number, right? One social identity. I have, whether that social identity could be on Facebook, same identity could be on Facebook, could be on Twitter, could be somewhere else, right? That makes it easy for people to remember. If I need, for example, now it's an excellent government initiative for emergency services. There is 112 number, and government of Maharashtra is just launching it very soon. And Avaya is very proud to be associated with that as well. So on this, that's an emergency services. But what about administrative services? Can we have one number for administrative services for my city, right? Make it simple for people. For all my needs, I have one number to call. And that number just helps me out to do whatever I want to do, right? One digital identity, whether then I'm coming from mobile applications or from social media, or from WhatsApp as well, right? So that's the one identity I'm talking about. Now, how do we model? The model integrated architecture is people reach out on that one number. They maybe that you use that number for calling, sending SMS, or sending WhatsApp messages to avail all the services that you're looking for, or one digital identity for digital channels, right? And the backend infrastructure is then well integrated with all the smart infrastructure. And 2 years back I was here, and I'll repeat the same use case. Smart parking, phenomenal application, right? It gives me a dashboard. When you go take your car there, it gives me a dashboard, tells me how many parking slots are available, fantastic information. I don't have to enter and struggle for the parking space there, right? The point is, if you have to really make it smart, why do I need to reach to the parking space to find out there is a slot available or not? Can I find out the information by sending just an SMS or maybe a WhatsApp or maybe a call before I reach to that particular place? That would be brilliant, right? That's what this one number to reach for city services can make. It can deliver wonders. I don't need to remember to download app. I don't need to remember which number to dial out. It's just any service I need. I call that number, get my job done. Right? As I said, well integrated with the rest of the smart applications. Whether it's a smart parking, whether you need you need to avail any municipality services, and so on and so forth. What are we doing here? We're reducing the response time. We are building the efficiency, right? And obviously, ultimately, making citizens look more smarter the way they interact and engage with the city. It's going back. Okay, all right. How do I use that? Now, obviously, the question is, when I'm going to put this automation layer, what happens? Do I need to put a lot of people in the back end to support? Not necessarily. If you have to think about putting a lot of people, let's say you think about I have to build a large help desk to help these people out, then the point is lost, right? What we're talking about is instead of creating a lot of human-centric infrastructure, make the whole thing automated, right? And how to make it easy for people, citizens to engage? Let them interact with their own voice, right? And use not only the voice is a simple thing, because one of the thing is, I think some panelist, I forgot her name, she called out 74% of most of the city's population is rural, right? Now, yes, everyone has a smartphone. Sometimes it is difficult to communicate on the smartphone in the local language, right? You need to choose a keyboard, struggle with it. Then not all smartphones are like people are not really used to it. If it is English, yeah, in cities people they're savvy with the English, right? And even sometimes you type Marathi in English text, those kind of things. But voice is a different ballgame altogether. You don't need to teach people to use voice. Make the services available in their local languages and see the wonder happens, right? What kind of services we are looking at? Anything, all the services, whether it's the municipality services, the government schemes, complaints, feedback, maybe parking availability. I'm just throwing some idea there, right? How do I do that? I just call, hey, you call upon the number, that one city, one identity, that number, you call on that number, and I just tell what you want, right? Leverage technology, because the technology is advancing so fast. Now it supports the local languages, even for voice, text, whichever mechanism that you want to be. Leverage it to make our citizens look smarter that way, right? You call upon that number and just say, what do you want to do? I need a birth certificate. Say it in local language. Mala नवीन birth certificate हवा है, किंवा I want to apply for that. So make it simple. Just tell, instead of people are afraid of IVR because I have hundreds of services to offer. If I think of the IVR, I can press only 0 to 9, right? I have 10 digits available. How do I fit in 100 services? No, you don't have to, because if you use voice, it's really simple to offer all the services, right? Make it simple, make it available in the local language for the people. Automation services from the social channel, from the mobile applications, from the websites, the digital channels, I would say. Bots, and we had some people talking about bots earlier, in the day. So I'll not spend too much time on that. But yes, bots are another easy and powerful way to get things completed in faster amount of time, right? Proactive notifications. Yes, it is not about just the citizens engaging with the city, but it's also about city engaging with its citizens. Isn't it so? Why should citizens all the time reach to the administration? It's the administration. Yeah, all right. I'm getting notifications as well. That's a sponsors engaging with the speaker in a different way, but yeah, I get the point. So it's about city engaging with the citizens, right? Proactive notifications. If there is an epidemic, there is some alert that needs to be and so on. Use the notification Someone talked about the meters, their uses notifications. Now, if you look at it, we kind of end up creating silos for different applications. It could be one single platform for all sort of notifications, whether it's a meter alert, your pending bill alerts, your epidemic alert, where the medicines will be available, etc., etc., and so on. So we can use that. It could be in the form of SMS, email, voice calls, and it could be tracked as well, right? So at the heart of it, knowledge is a powerful thing, right? Knowledge is the basis of providing the efficient services. Now, if we have look at the number of departments that we have in any city, the number of citizen touch points, number of smart applications that we have. Let's say we have website, we have mobile applications, we have help desk, we have other smart applications. Everyone end up creating their own knowledge base, right? Knowledge should be one common, right? And every applications, every touch point should be looking at one source of truth, that is knowledge, right? And that is something that it's another idea in, most of the large organizations are investing and adopting knowledge as one source of truth. Maybe it's a powerful idea for governance as well, for the administration as well, right? So everyone looks at one source of truth. That means, that makes your add move changes, adding policy changes, process changes are more efficient, more faster, because you change it at one location and everyone is looking at that knowledge source, and so everyone gets the change, right? That's a powerful idea. So all the government scheme, the grievances services, the policy, processes, complaints, everything is available at one single location and everyone is looking at it, right? And that makes kind of a seamless, same information available to everyone, whether it's internal employees or citizens, it doesn't matter. And obviously the workflow that comes into the picture, the workflow, when I said someone gets the job, which department it goes to, who is supposed to handle that particular work, what are the SLAs, what are the turnaround times, that's the job of workflow. So it's not only about assigning work, but also tracking it, monitoring it, and ensuring that the work is done in a stipulated time frame, and it's also get monitored. So I'll not get into the typical framework, but yes, there is the framework that encompasses all, leverages the existing infrastructure, delivers, integrates everything, all the applications, all the smart projects that have been deployed in the smart cities. The framework encompasses everything and enables the citizens to engage with the administration in a much smarter way, right? So that's the framework that typically, I'll not spend too much time here, given that I'm already on notice. Here is some of the work that we have been doing in the government. So some notable names that you see here, including this city. And that's about it. So with that, I'll conclude. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience as well.